Hi everybody, Sanbonani. Welcome to my channel. Do make sure that you are subscribed and also do like the video. So there is a show coming up on Showmax called Untied. It's a group of women that will be interviewed about the breaking up of their marriages. All of them are celebrities. Some of them we know their marriages and some of them we don't even know who they were married to. So I don't know, you guys. For some reason, it's important for us to know about the breaking down of the marriages we never knew about, okay? But we'll be watching because Sandy Daba will be on Showmax tuning in to watch the story about the marriages we never knew about, okay? On the lineup, it is Noma Mngoma. When I saw her on the lineup, I was like, what is this woman going to be telling us about her marriage that we don't already know? Because once upon a time, this woman sat on a bench and told us everything about her marriage. Okay, I have never been to this woman's house, but I know all of the corners of her house. Okay, I know the color of her duvet, honey. I know what's under the bed, under the basement, in the kitchen corner. I know everything about this woman's marital home. What is she going to be talking about on that show that we don't know about? Okay, but apparently there is more, because when the ex-husband Malusi Gigaba heard that she was going to be doing this show, he called his lawyer. Okay, he was like, Mr. Lawyer, we cannot have this woman expose more of my dirty laundry. Okay, so now I was like, now I'm interested in this because Malusi Gigaba is trying to gag Noma, because he is saying, don't be talking about my business over there by Showmax. You've already done enough damage, okay? But the thing about trying to gag somebody is that sometimes it's a stupid exercise, because when you are gagging somebody, you have to say, don't say da 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 da. Okay, and in you saying don't say da 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 da, the people be knowing what the da 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 is. So it's a stupid exercise. If you don't want the people to know, then don't be gagging the person, because if you're gagging the person, then the people are going to find out what you are gagging the person from saying. You understand what I'm saying? So the Sunday World has written an article where they are stating what Malusi Gigaba is gagging Noma Mngoma from saying. Now, not only do we now know what Noma Mngoma is being gagged from saying, but we also know what's on that episode of Untied. Now, I'm asking myself why we are still going to watch the episode of Untied when we have this article here that is telling us everything that Noma Mngoma said on her episode of Untied. You get me? You follow? Yes. So let's read this article, you guys, because it is interesting. Because Noma Mngoma went in. She even talked about this man's father's cheating ways. Can you imagine? I'm like, Noma, why are you talking about your father-in-law's cheating ways? I understand why Malusi Gigaba is mad, okay? So this is what the article by Ngwako Malaje says, okay? Former Minister of Finance Malusi Gigaba has applied for a court order to interdict his ex-wife Noma Mngoma from broadcasting on Showmax the allegations that he is addicted to, guess it, yeah, porn. Listen, there are many things that you would say about Malusi Gigaba that I wouldn't believe. But if somebody came to me and said, listen, Malusi Gigaba is addicted to porn, I'd be like, listen, I mean, we already knew, because after we saw that other tape that was going around, remember, the tape that went viral, we already knew that that man was addicted to porn, allegedly. Okay, we knew it. We were like, listen, okay, this one doesn't go to bed without going into that website, okay? So I don't know why he thinks he needs to gag Noma from saying it, okay? But he's gagging her, honey, okay? Gigaba also wants to gag her from going public that he was involved in extramarital congress with a slew of concubines behind her back. That's another thing. He says that he does not want her to talk about the fact that he had many girlfriends, okay, or concubines, okay? But I'm like, but we also already knew that. Okay. The former ANC Youth League president also wanted her to stop from broadcasting claims that he inherited his love-read tendencies from his late father, a Bible puncher, because the old man knew other women in the biblical sense behind his mother's back. Listen. You see now, this one is the one that should have been gagged, okay? The only problem with this one is that now we know about it, okay? Because he's trying to say, no, Mama, stop talking about his father's cheating ways. Now we know about it. In him trying to gag Noma, now we know that Malusi Gigaba's father used to be a cheater. Okay, now this is information that I really don't mind not knowing. Okay, I don't want to know that Malusi Gigaba's father used to cheat. Okay, I want to know things like Malusi Gigaba's father was a priest. Okay, I'm good with that information. The information that he was a priest that cheated on his wife with women in the church, I don't want to know that information. Okay, I can live without that information. You see, that one should have been kept. Okay. Gigaba, who is also a former minister of Home Affairs, also wants to prohibit Mngoma from making public allegations that they used to lead an extravagant lifestyle funded by taxpayers' money. Is there anybody that did not know that? Okay, that they live an extravagant lifestyle? We knew that. Funded by taxpayers' money, allegedly. Of course, we knew that. There is nothing to gag. Okay. The ANC National Executive Committee member filed an interdict application in the Johannesburg High Court to interdict broadcasting of the show titled Untied, in which Mngoma is making the allegations against him. In the lawsuit, MultiChoice is cited as the first respondent. Goat Originals, which shot the show, is the second respondent, while Mngoma is the third respondent. The parties are expected to face off in court tomorrow, and it's tomorrow. Yes. In the court papers which the Sunday World has seen, Gigaba said that he became aware of the show when he received a WhatsApp message from the executive producer around May the 29th. In the message, he said that the producer indicated that she had recently interviewed Mngoma, who mentioned the name of the show, saying that part of the commitment to fair and balanced storytelling, they want to offer him a right to reply. In terms of the attached document, Vanessa indicated that the third respondent shared her experience of the former marriage, particularly of her own perspective about the marriage, allegations of infidelity, pornography, an incident involving the Hawks, and further allegations about the use of the taxpayers' monies for personal trips, Gigaba stated. The former cabinet minister said that the attorney wrote a letter to the producer requesting her to provide him with a copy of the podcast in order for him to listen to the specific allegations made against him. In June the 9th, he said that the production company's lawyer sent him a letter stating the specific allegations Mngoma had made up on the show. In light of the aforesaid, the second respondent makes the following unfounded allegations with respect to my private life: that I was engaged in multiple extramarital affairs during the subsistence of a marriage. I was addicted to pornography, and further that I was involved in her arrest, okay? Because there was a time when Noma got arrested, and she says that it was Gigaba who got her arrested, and Gigaba is like, listen, I don't want you to reveal that, okay? I might have been involved, but I don't want you to reveal it, okay? I'm joking, you guys. He didn't say he was involved. He just says that he does not want her to talk about it, okay? He said on June the 10th, his attorney wrote a letter to the production company's lawyer stating that the production house's letter did not deal with the specific allegations made, and in light of that, this rendered him unable to respond properly. okay, because he had asked for the copies of the podcast, okay. On the 12th of June 2025, my attorneys advised that the second respondent's attorney provide us with the snippets of the interview for the purpose of watching the same, he said. Gigaba said that after watching the snippets, he advised his lawyers of his desire to interdict the broadcasting of an interview on the basis that it is sole important and affects its sole purpose. It is to affect his good image, okay. It is to taint his good image, and also the publishing of that episode is not in the public's best interest, okay. He said that the allegations constitute an infringement of his dignity because Mngoma claims that the extravagant lifestyle was rumored to be paid with the taxpayers' monies, okay. The host of the interview asked Mngoma if any of Gigaba's scores bought photographs to show that he cheated. He said Mngoma responded by saying that none of the paramours bought photos in the form of an image, but they brought screenshot messages that that were sent to them. Okay, he sent them to her. I don't understand what they're saying here, okay? He said that the host also asked Mngoma if Gigaba blamed his father for his indiscretions, okay? Because, sometimes men be doing all the wrong things, okay? When it's time to take accountability, be like, listen, I have father issues, okay? I have daddy issues. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, okay? He said that he said that the host asked Mngoma if Gigaba blamed his father. She responded and said he would blame his father because his father was a priest and he grew up looking up to his father, and his father cheated on his mother. What a contradiction, you guys. Let's just talk about it, okay? What a contradiction. Because if you are raised by a priest, on the one hand, people are thinking that, you are getting all of the, goodness of life from your father, a priest. You are a son of a priest, and then it's a priest that is cheating on your mother. What a contradiction that you are getting from life, okay? Like, what? Did we expect that Giga was going to be an honest man? Provided it's true, you guys, because it might not be true, okay? He would say that I am going to deal with it. He doesn't know why he's doing it, reads the papers. Gigaba said that God Original's lawyers only provided his attorneys with the 7 clips of the entire episode, each lasting about 5 minutes. The clips only focus on the allegations about the purported infidelity in the fights we allegedly had. I can understand why the production company would be reluctant to give him just the whole episode, because they haven't released it. What if you send the episode to them and then they end up sharing it with the people? I understand them just giving them the clips that are relevant to what he was asking for, okay? It is important that I unreservedly refute these allegations as unfounded and deliberate mistruths. I resent and dragging of my late father into lies when the allegations made against him are completely baseless and defamatory. You see this thing, you guys. Now you're married, you trust your partner, you're sharing all of your secrets of your family, you're sharing about your mother cheating, your father cheating, your auntie, your other auntie sleeping with your father, and and then now when you break up, your wife is now sharing that information. Okay, people need to sign the NDAs when in marriage, okay, when you are breaking up in marriage, okay? Don't be sharing that stories with other people now, okay? My late father occupied the highest moral position in society owing to his occupation as a priest, and such defamation of his good name and example is regrettable and rejected with contempt. Gigaba further said that there is no evidence of any extravagant lifestyle he lived owing to his position as a minister. And you see this one now, he's pushing it. Gigaba is pushing it this one. He says that there is no evidence of any extravagant lifestyle he lived owing to his position, like he is pushing it right now. Because listen, we've lived long, okay? We were alive when he was the minister and married to, Miss Mngoma here. Okay, we were alive. These ones were living high. Okay, extravagant. You see, I can't even pronounce the name. Okay, extravagant is an understatement of the life that these two were living at the time. Okay, so if he is saying that they never lived an extravagant lifestyle, honey, like, listen, we are not kids. We look very young, but we are not kids. They lived an extravagant lifestyle. We saw it, okay, on our TV screens and our newspapers, okay? The question is, did they pay for it themselves or was it paid for by the taxpayers' money? Okay, did we pay for it as the taxpayers or did they pay for it from their own pockets? That is the question. But extravagant it was because we saw it. Okay, you see here now he's losing me. I was taking his side until now when he's saying he never did it. Okay. At the Zondo Commission, she made a sworn claim that I was broke. Okay, and that she was the one that was responsible for purchasing all our household assets. Okay, as a result of which she claimed all of them as part of the divorce settlement. Gigaba said that it is clear that MultiChoice and the production company did not want to provide a full episode of the podcast in order for him to be able to understand with which context the ex-wife made the allegations. I am particularly concerned with the dignity of my children, the effects of his statements on them as school-going minors, my reputation in the society that I have been rebuilding since 2018, which is a period after I resigned as the minister and moved from public space. Okay, so that's what's going on. Here is my overall thing. Okay, number one, I feel like most of the things that he is trying to gag Noma from saying, the public already think those things. We already think that you might be addicted to the PORN. We already think that in the marriage you were not faithful. Okay. And maybe the father situation, I understand that, trying to get it to not talk too much about your father. I don't even understand why Noma would do that. Why are you talking about Malusi Gigaba's father? Okay, that I understand. Okay. However, I feel like, in you trying to get her, you are exposing the information that we didn't know. Now we know because now it's written in this article. Now we know about your father's, cheating ways. Okay. Now, the thing with MultiChoice now, I feel like now exactly what are we going to be watching in that episode with Noma? Because everything is in this episode now, and they're going to court, and maybe in court more is going to be exposed and more articles are going to be written about what Noma has revealed in the episode. So what is going to be a point of us waiting for that Untied episode? Because we know what she's going to be saying over and above the fact that this woman has already revealed a lot about this marriage anyway in the past. Okay, so it makes you feel like, do I need to watch this episode of Untied with Noma Mngoma? Because I feel like I already know everything that she's going to say there. Okay, but again, now we might still watch. Okay, if I was MultiChoice, I would just remove this episode. It's not worth it. Okay, it's not worth it. Okay, because at this point there's only like 2 things left that we haven't heard about. Okay. And you just remove it and be like Mr. Gigaba, listen, let's not go to court. Let's just remove this episode and go on with the other cast, okay? Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please tell me what you think about it in the comment section. Like the video before gonna share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.